All right, welcome back to the Boeckle Bros channel where we talk all things real estate. I'm Jesse.
And I'm Landon. And like we've said before, we are A to Z guys. We manage all of our properties. And today we're going to take you through a final walk on one of our flips.
One of our flips right here that we're standing at is almost done. It's not staged yet, but the construction is basically finished. So we need to go in and make sure it's done to our standard.
And how do we do that? We use a lot of blue tape. That's how we mark everything that needs to be fixed. So let's go in and start marking it up.
Cool.
So we're in the final stages of the house flip. And that means we have the cleaning crew here, we have the finishing crew here, and then Jesse and I come in on every job and make sure that we mark it up before it's finally complete.
So what we're doing is we're gonna go around the house and we're gonna check for little nicks, little scratches, little paint mishaps, little things that obviously can be fixed real quick, and to just make sure that that quality is to our standard.
Right, let's check it out.
Let's do it, let's start. Let's start right here with this.
So we have the big fireplace wall. Obviously they got to finish it out and put the fireplace in.
Right.
Looks really good, it's done really well. Some things, come on over here and check this out. Something like this right here, this is unacceptable. So this is something that's gonna get blue tape. This is lazy work right here. And this is something we don't accept on our flips. What they're gonna have to do is they're gonna have to pull this off. The drywall guy is gonna have to come on in, patch this little piece of drywall, texture it, and paint it. That's definitely a blue tape item.
All right, check this one out over here. So right when you walk in the house, we have beautiful windows overlooking a full strip view. But occasionally what happens sometimes when they paint the exterior of the house is the overspray gets all over our windows. So we want to mark that to make sure they come back through and really clean them up nice.
So sometimes when we set up the initial design with lighting packages, the guys who are working on the jobs, there's a miscommunication. This light's clearly in the wrong spot. It's actually going to go right here in the dining room. And this light right here on the ground needs to go up in its place. So sometimes there may be some obvious items that the contractor already knows about that just are clearly unfinished. But when we're doing our final tape walk, we want to remark those items to ensure that they don't get missed. Right here we could see that there's a couple outlets that are hanging out. It looks like there's some electrical that has to be done. We want to make sure that we at least mark it up so that it's not forgotten about, because things always get forgotten about.
Whenever we're checking the kitchen, I always want to go through and open these to make sure our shelves are in place and that our cabinets are aligned and everything's installed the way it should be. And as we're opening these cabinets right here, we can see this edge cabinet is a little bit too close to the wall and it's rubbing the paint right there. It's actually scratching the wall. So we're going to need to adjust these doors in a little bit so it misses the wall. So we're in here finishing the laundry room real quick. We actually decided to put a really nice shelf above the two laundry units, but it was installed with too much of a gap on the wall. Kind of
check this out right here. See how that's kind of shaky off the wall. If someone puts something on here, it could fall off the wall and break.
It could be installed a little bit better, so we want to mark that one. Cool.
Paint and everything else looks good in here.
Yep.
When we're walking through the house, we really want to make sure that the trim, the baseboards, the walls, the door jambs are really nice and white, because this house is supposed to be technically brand new. And if the trim's not really white and is all marked up, it really makes it feel a little bit worn.
As we go through, we also replace all of the light fixtures, the light switches, and all of the smoke detectors and carbon monoxide detectors. There's one that was missed right here, and you can tell it's really old and yellow, so we want to make sure we change that too.
Got a little paint line issue there. Once again, checking all the trim, checking all the paint. So our initial walk, what we like to check first is finishing work, paint, trim, everything that's visible to the eye. And then what we'll do is we'll go back around a second time to check the mechanicals and the electrical of the house.
We pull off and remove a lot of the window coverings because usually they're pretty old, or they're yellow, or they're like almond color. So what we got to check for right here is a lot of these holes where it was installed and make sure they're all filled in correctly. This one actually looks really good.
So, I mean, in the bathrooms, it's an easy fix, but we want to go through, we do it ourselves, make sure everything's super straight, make sure everything's lined up nicely. Looks like it's missing one mirror here, so we'll just put a piece of tape on it just so it doesn't get forgotten. Everything looks good.
The outer edges are pretty good. The tile's laid really nice.
I like this shower. The shower looks great.
Yeah.
So they'll put the glass on last. Glass should go in today, and that's going to complete the shower, which is going to be really cool looking.
Oh, that's a big space.
I think there's a linen closet going in there.
Oh.
One thing that we may have to address is, see this raw wood showing in under here? Is there anything they can do about that?
Paint black, maybe?
See, see that looks, oh yeah.
Look at that.
See, this is why we do the final walk right here. Look at this work that was done here. This is something that definitely has to be fixed, because one, the track is just lifting up. Two, it doesn't look great at all.
Lift it up again, because he...
So this is a definite item that, one, is an inspection item. Two, looks like we cut corners and are careless, and we don't.
One thing you need to make sure you're checking is all the condition and everything we installed. Right here, I see some really dark lines on our brand new countertop, but not to panic. This is probably just pencil line or some marking where they were gonna make the cut, and look, it comes right off. So just gotta mark it and have them clean it.
So on this type of blue tape walk, we always check the mechanicals. That's water running, that's electrical, that's HVAC systems throughout the house. So what we'll do is we'll let the water run from the sinks and the showers for about 10 minutes each, and then we're gonna check underneath to make sure that there's no active leaks. It doesn't help running the water for 1 or 2 minutes, because that doesn't give the leak time enough to actually start running through. So make sure you run it for about 10 minutes.
So on the electrical check, we're gonna use this device to make sure all these outlets are actually functioning as well. So you wanna plug it in, and you should see 2 lights here. That means it's good to go.
So to check the HVAC system, you use one of these. It's an easy tool to buy from Home Depot or Lowe's. It's a temperature gun. All you do is you point it at the register, pull the trigger on it, and the temperature that comes out of the gun should be about a 20-degree split from the temperature that's in the register. One of the major areas of the house that you don't want to forget about is the garage. There's a lot of expensive equipment in the garage that you want to make sure functions properly. First and foremost, the garage door with the garage door opener.
You also want to make sure the water heater is all hooked up correctly and everything is where it should be and running the direction that it should be. Over here inside, we're testing our HVAC. We can tell it's running right now. Everything looks hooked up correctly to code.
So overall, we're super happy with today's blue tape walk. There's honestly not a lot of work to still be done here.
Not at all. And they're going to knock it out over the next 1 or 2 days. Then we're going to get the stager in here and list it on the market.
So stay tuned for the video of when this thing's finished and sold. We're thinking it's going to sell quick and make some big money. So thanks for tuning in today. We hope this video was super helpful with when you do your final walks on your investment properties. If you have any questions, make sure to drop them below and we'll be sure to answer them. And make sure to hit that subscribe button as well.
Until then,
We'll see you on the flip side.